What's up, party people? Oh my god, I almost fainted from that. This is gonna be my new intro, just me slowly buttoning up my shirt after a shower in just a dimly backlit room with Morpheus sunglasses on. Anyway, how's everybody doing? F your, F maternal, your maternal parental figure and all that. I don't know, I was thinking about last time I was talking. All this stuff's real long form, and it's like a Twitch rip. It's like I'm not getting on here with like a script. I don't have like an intro song. It's like real podcasty and fun, and I'll worry about that if anything starts to happen. But it's just me talking, just having a conversation. It's kind of Adam Savage without any fun. But last time I was talking, I dropped like 12 f bombs in the first 10 seconds, and which I'm apt to do, and I think that YouTube, if I'm not mistaken, this is kind of through the rumor mill. I've heard this like second and third hand, but I think that YouTube doesn't like that, which is understandable. When you say all the gamer words and you say the F's and the BB's and the all the real bad, and maybe a couple innies, like they really don't like that. So don't do that, and you're not supposed to do that on YouTube, and you shouldn't. And last time I kind of did, so maybe this will be a little bit more reach. But last time what I talked about the things that we're really worried about that we shouldn't be, because we're stupid. We're acting stupid. And we shouldn't be worried about certain things that we're putting a lot of time and effort into. We're divided as a country more so than ever, and that's just, well, maybe not more so than ever, but that's just pretty self-evident. But there are things, those were the things that we shouldn't be worried about. Focus, you fuck. How long's it been? 2 minutes. I made it 2 minutes. I think that was the first F-bomb. You might be able to hear my fan in the background. I don't give a shit. If it gets better, then we'll deal with that. My nose might be making some sort of nostrily noise. That's fine. My camera's not going to focus because I'm backlit. It's horrible lighting. That's okay. You might hate everything I talk about. Please block me. But last time we talked about things that were not a problem, that we think are a problem or are told are a big problem. Today I'm going to make the case that there are horrible problems, that we could fix them if we liked to, if we wanted to. Basically, Democrats and Republicans are way closer on their ideas than they think that they are, and we worry about the same things. We agree about almost all the same things, and we should be worried, for sure we should be worried about, in my opinion, and I'll make a case for that. And so, let's begin, and I'll tell you what I think is a big fucking no-no. The FDA is huge, right? And I'm starting with that. People are going to go, the FDA is not, it's corrupt. I'm not Alex Jones. Let me talk before you start just completely roasting me. The FDA is huge. I'm building a case here for the whole system. These are just numbers, facts. I'll just spit them out, okay? Rapid fire. 75% of the FDA's drug budget, the drug part of their budget, comes from pharmaceutical companies, the ones that they're supposed to be policing in the first place, the ones that they're approving the drugs for, the ones that they're saying, you can do research on this, and you can do drugs about this, and you can do, and this drug's fine, you gave it to monkeys, and so now you can. 54%, this is another statistic here, 54% of the federal government, 54% of the funding for the FDA, Jesus Christmas, is federal government funding. And 46% of what the FDA is able to get for funding is allocated from the fees that they incur approving people for their drugs. And again, it's not a kickback. It's not some weird fucking... It's just... But that is true. That's where they're getting their money. Okay. Oh, man. There's some big ones here today, folks. There's some stuff to worry about. And this is, I'm starting, there's like, in my opinion, there's maybe half a dozen, maybe 7 things that we really, really need to be like shitting our pants about over the next 15 years. Like really horrified about. And you'll start to get an image of my political spectrum. It's really moderate, by the way. I'll just tell you, it's just left of center. But it moves all the time. Anyway, but Everything's got to move all the time. It's all got to move all the time. It's dynamic. It's fascism. It can't be still. That's fascism. That's bullshit. You can't do that. You have to be dynamic. You have to be strong, but you can't just be strong like a tree. You'll just get washed out when the rain comes. It doesn't work like that. You got to you're blind and you're walking a path and there's water on both sides and you got to reach your little toe and go, where the fuck? Where's the, and you got to touch the water on this side and go, okay. And then you got to reach your toe over to this side and you got to go all the way over and go, oh shit. And then you got to go, what the fuck? And then keep reaching and go, oh shit. And then go, oh my God, the path was this wide. The path was this wide. And I was walking right here. I was an inch away from the water over here. I thought the path was this fucking big. It's this big. That's why we need to keep talking to each other. That's why I think it's a mistake to deplatform people like Alex Jones. I think that that's just a nightmare. You're pushing them underground. The small group that he has, his group didn't grow. It didn't get like bigger. You know, the people that really follow him, that really hold on to what he's saying, that didn't grow. All you did was you just you galvanized their support for him. He said, "See, look what the deep state did. Look what the," but it's like, and then you got YouTube, which is like, they're a company. They're like, we don't want to deal with this shit. This guy's saying all the frogs are gay and whatever. Like, we don't want to do. We want everything to be Disneyland and happy, pretty, funny. This isn't happy, pretty, funny. This doesn't fit. And so that's their prerogative. They're allowed to do that. They're allowed to just go, we don't want to. But it's not good. I don't know what would have had to have happened. The U.S. government comes in and is like, here's $50 million. I don't know if that's enough. I have no clue. Here's $50 million to keep them on. But they don't have an incentive to do that, really. Well, they kind of do, but it's not. It's a huge bureaucratic system that's complicated and what. You know, maybe that would have been the smart thing to do. You think, here's $50 million. They go, here, baby boy, and they just let me pop that down in your pocket with my little one finger to give you a little slap on the ass, YouTube, and there you go. Keep Alex on the water. But you can't do that, man. I don't know. Anyway, we got a little bit off topic there. Insurance companies. That's what I was going to talk about. It's way funner of a thing to talk about. Okay? And what they do, what insurance companies do, if you're not aware, is they practice medicine without seeing patients, which is just totally illegal if you're anybody other than an insurance company. They practice medicine without seeing patients. That's number one. And then number two, they collect gigantic checks, and then they become real rich and fat and sit on boats and, you know, maybe do really horrible other stuff if you're inclined to believe that kind of thing. But they definitely do the first two things. They collect enormous checks and they practice fake medicine. United Healthcare, for instance, we'll just take the biggest one of the biggest ones. United Healthcare in 2023, their revenue was $281 billion. So it grew in 2023 by $31.6 billion. That's 12.7% year over year. And I'm not going to say I know exactly why that is. There might be some pandemic stuff or some this stuff or some whatever. I'm not an expert on this. I just want to start the conversation about it of like, this is a big problem. So here's the deal. This seems a little weird. I'm starting to draw you a picture. $281 billion, okay, is what they made. It grew by $31.6 billion, okay? Now, that coupled with some other things. Medicine as a whole, especially in the United States. The third leading cause of death, and this is relatively well documented, and tell me if I'm wrong on any of this shit. That's why we're here. That's why I'm doing this. The third leading cause of death is medical mistake. It's not so good, dude. Like, did you get a heart attack? No. Did you get cancer? No. Well, what happened? It's like, I'm very, very sick. I have gadolinium. Anyway, we'll get into that more in another video, but I have gadolinium poisoning, horrible gadolinium poisoning. And that was given to me so that the picture of my MRI would be just ever so slightly more crispy. Ever so slightly better looking so that they could see a little bit more. And maybe that was good. And I was told I didn't know any better. I was told that your kidneys just clear it immediately and it's not a problem. If I was alone, I couldn't go down into the ground and pull this toxic metal out of the ground and put borium or fucking do whatever transcapacitors whatever science shit they do to like make it into this metal in pill form, and then they stick it in my veins, and then they fill me up with this metal that makes imaging easier. Like it's I'm sure it's just a miracle of modern medicine, but I didn't know that. Nobody told me how dangerous it was, and there's huge groups of people that are like 80% have adverse effects and at least 20% have extremely adverse effects. And now I have this poison in my body that medical practitioners gave to me because they were trying to find what was wrong with me, and now I just live with that. That's just a part of my life now. It's just horrible. I'm just sick. And so 10% of deaths, 10% of deaths, if I'm understanding the data correctly. Again, there's a comment section for a reason. Big boy, go get your ass in there if you got a problem with it. 10% of deaths are caused by medical error. 1 in 10 deaths that happen are caused by medical error, are caused by stuff that we're trying to intervene. And part of that's just like, that's the way it is. You got to intervene. You have to do stuff. If you feel like shit, you have to go somewhere to try to make it so that you feel less like shit. But you don't know if it's going to make you feel less like shit until you get there and they pump you full of gadolinium, and then you're like, oh man, I really feel like shit now. Thanks guys, I really am fucked up now. So you don't know. You don't know. And so there's incentive. That's the first thing. There's motive. There's incentive for you to go to a place and seek help. And you're the guy with the little chalk on the sidewalk going, I love the world, there's love everywhere. And some insurance executive walks by with like his big dick and like shoves you over and takes your sandwich and slaps your girl on the ass and fucks your mom and then like walks to his boat. And it's like, by the way, I'm working on approving your prior authorization. Don't worry about that. I'm getting right on that right after I'm done fucking your mom. So these are problems that we should really be worrying about. American medicine as a whole, this is all practical medicine. This is the American system of doing things to the body to make you less sick, and that's a lot of shit. Drugs, you know what I'm talking about. It's hospitals, it's drugs, it's fucking your mom. Okay, that grew by 4.1% and made $4.5 trillion last year. Do you feel 4.1% healthier than you did last year? Maybe you do. Do you feel? I mean, what was health United Healthcare's went up by 12.7%. Do you feel 12.7% healthier than you do last year? That's a big number. You feel over 10% better protected. HealthNet, they took all that money and they took it out of the healthcare system. They gave it to oligarchs. That's what they did. They gave it to people that are going to turn around and use that money to lobby government to make what they're doing and the things that they want to do to make money easier and less regulated. That's a problem that you should be worried about. And it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Republicans are really like paranoid about this kind of stuff kind of as is. And this is where I kind of divert from my party on a few things. But this is one of them. And everybody's biased. I try not to be biased, but of course I'm biased, which is why we have to talk. It has to be on the path. I'm closer to the water. I'm constantly too close to the water on one side or the other, which is why I have to interact with goddamn Alex Jones to bring me back. I have to go listen to a Destiny video maybe, or what, like somebody that's left-wing. I have to know so I can figure it out. But these are some pretty hard facts. And so what did we just say? 4.1%, $4.5 trillion last year is what the American medical system made. They're going bonkers. They made a lot of money, but no, hold on. Let me figure this out, because this is important. This is the money shot, right? This is the fucking So let's take all the people that died, right? It's like 9.6%. I said 10% earlier. I'm a dirty liar. It's 9.6% of people died, okay? Of all deaths, died from medical mistreatment, mishandling of their case, okay? 9.5%. if we took all their money that they spent, if we averaged that money out, right, of the 4.5 trillion that was made by the medical system, if we took the 10% of the people that's money went into that who had a really bad outcome from medical practices that were performed against them, if we took that money, right, 9.5% of $4.5 trillion is $427.5 billion. 427.5. Okay. On the high end of estimation, on the relatively high end of estimation, it would cost 15 to 20, and that's annual. That's annual money. 427 billion a year. It would cost 20 to 30 billion a year to fix homelessness, to house all the homeless people in the United States. To house all the homeless people in the United States. What is that, 5%? 5% of the money? 5% of the money? If none of the dead people paid for their medical expenses, any of their medical expenses, if none of those dead people had to pay for their medical expenses leading up to their death, we could fix homelessness with 5% of that money. Have 95% left over. Now, I might be off. There's things, I'm not a statistician. Like, there's shit that I'm not accounting for here. But it seems a little bit, seems kind of fucked. It seems a little, I don't remember what the word is. It seems kind of fucked up, dude. That seems kind of dog shit. I think that we as a group should be worried about that. That's one of the major things that I'm worried about. And it's going to, how worried I am, this is the least of the 7 things that I have major issues with. This is the least. It's going to escalate. I want it to become more and more interesting so people will stay tuned. This is the least. Next time we're going to talk about AI. And you might be laughing at me, but 10 years ago, Will Smith was like, there was an AI of Will Smith like eating spaghetti, and it was just lumps of color, and he was like, his head was like on backwards, and like it just wasn't. And now there's photos I could show you right now. Can you still hear me? It seems so. There's photos I could show you right now that. Anyway, we'll get into it next time. We'll save that for next time. That are just really hard to tell the difference. It's getting really hard to tell the difference. And you're saying, I can tell. Well, in 5 years, you won't be able to tell. I'm a boomer a little bit, and so maybe you can tell. But in 5 years, they fix the hands. There used to be like 7 fingers on each hand. Now the hands are getting to where they're fixed. And the other major problem with it is that we can't stop it. It's an arms race. And so they tried to, and people stopped for like a week. And then Google was like, hey, wait a minute. You're fucking all my profit up. This isn't right. We're going to court. You can't insure to me. You can't make me stop doing this unless you can insure to me that every company is going to abide by your rules. And there'll be a single guy in Russia just clacking away on a fucking keyboard. It's all plugged into the whatever. And then he'll be the guy that makes ChatGPT 6, and he'll become a trillionaire. And so Google's like, I have to compete. I have to keep up. Your regulations, which again is why we need a global, but we don't have global policy. We have country-to-country policy and then war. We don't have global policy unless the thing is so gnarly that we have to. And so we have to make the mistake first. And I think that AI is going to make it so that, and I got lots, baby. We can get in. I'm not spoiling too much here, but this is just this is an appetizer. I think AIs can make it so that you have no clue what's real anymore. And I think that that's a real possibility in the next 5 years. And I think that it could make it so that it gets milky of when things stopped being real. Like, you're seeing me now, you're pretty sure I'm real. Hello. But already you can download an app on your cell phone that makes it so that like you give it a sample of your voice, you're like, your mom's a bitch, I'm gonna fuck her. And then the app turns around and sings a Drake song with your voice. You know what I mean? It like sings like Tupac in your voice. So once like there's already platforms that are making video fidelity that's very accurate within the realm of human perception. It's very hard to tell. and then they're making they can take your voice too, and now it's like there's deep fakes, and the deep fakes 5 years ago were relatively convincing. Right now they're pretty damn convincing, and in 5 or 10 years you're not going to know. And so it's not only going to be a problem for them, but we're entering the age of information, and I think that could bring upon an extreme dark age, like where you don't know when things stopped being true in the timeline, because people will tell you different things, and there'll be sources of information coming from all over the place, all over the internet, everywhere you look, people's opinion in real life. And then somebody's opinion in real life will be so much different than yours that it's not too far away from another step forward from you not knowing if your fucking wife is real, from you not knowing if you're real, from you not knowing if your pain is real, if what you think is real. That's like, I see that as a real possibility. And it's not next year, but in the next 40 years, in the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years, I see that, like, there's a place that we could go that would be really, really dark, that would make you think, I wonder if Neo exists. Because the Matrix movies are looking a little like, am I being harvested for my energy here? Like, what the fuck is going on? I think it could get weird. And so that's like number 4 on the list of things that I think are just going to be a huge problem for us. It's going to escalate from there. We're going to go kind of to the moon, and I'll take you with me to where I go to bed at night, which is not at all. So stay tuned for that, Papi. Big boy. I do need to get, and if this gets attention, I'll get an intro. God damn it. I'll go to the Fiverr and get like an intro, like a song, and then I'll get better lighting, and I'll just wear darker glasses if they get any darker. I'll just put cardboard in front of my face like RoboCop. And then, I don't know, we'll do an outro, we'll do more stuff. I do have somebody that I'd like to bring on, too, that's everything that I'm not, but still intelligent. Like, not nearly as rowdy, not nearly as, like, under the belt, not nearly as fucking just stupid and just off the cuff and just saying dumb, like, fuck your mom, Joe. Like, he brings me back down to an angry and neurotic is the word. That's the word. Nailed it. I got there in the end. It flew by and I caught it. So, I got somebody in mind that a lot of you guys that are currently watching this will know and will think is funny. So that's not nearly as neurotic as I am, and is a very smart guy. And we might have like a duel, and you probably won't be able to see his face. It'll be just my grainy face with a dark background. It'll just be, the quality's gonna just be fucking dog shit for the foreseeable future. But so I very much appreciate the people that are tuning in. I really do. And I appreciate the people that interact with me down here in the comments and that talk to me and tell me what you want and tell me what I can do for my little baby birdies. Okay. That's it. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.